And I am here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Today's episode has been pre-recorded. I've been gigging quite a bit these days, but we got a fun one here today. We're going to be learning Change by Tracy Chapman. Really beautiful song. Hope you like bar chords because we got a ton of them in this song today. So I would say this lesson is geared towards my more advanced beginners moving on to the intermediate phase. Okay? And we're going to have our acoustic guitar and standard tuning for this one. And if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, go ahead and click the link in the video description below so you check all of that out there. So before we get started, you guys know I like to ask a question. So let's see. Let me know where you're tuning in from today and a song that is hopeful and uplifting to you. So where are you tuning in from and a song that is hopeful and uplifting, okay? So go ahead, get these acoustic guitars in standard tuning, and here we go. Here is Change by Tracy Chapman. So that's a tune we're going to learn today, and we're going to learn all the parts. There's a beautiful bridge as well, so we're going to be looking over all of that. So let's go ahead and get started at the intro. Again, a very iconic, beautiful little chord progression here, okay, with a nice little riff. So what we've got here for the intro, okay, so we've got a D minor, a B flat, bar chord, an F major, bar chord, and a C major, bar chord. Okay? The only chord, at least in this intro, it's not going to be a bar chord. It's going to be that D minor, okay? So lucky for us, that's the first chord in the song. So let's go ahead and look at that. So how to play a D minor, we're going to use these first three fingers here. So our first finger, go ahead and place that on the F note. It's going to be on the first fret of the E string. Get your second finger, placing that on the second fret of the G string. That's an A. And then your third finger, okay, get as close to that third fret of the B string as you can. That's going to be your D note. So for those of you keeping tabs here, okay, D, F, and A, the one flat 3-5 that makes up this D minor chord. So go ahead and strum it from the D string downward. It should sound like this. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to strum this chord once. Now to include the riff, it sounds like this. So let me show you how to play that. Okay, and we're going to go over this quite a bit. Again, slow and steady wins the race, as we say at the Riff Rundown here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to hammer on here with our pinky finger. Okay, so that's on the third fret of the E string. What we're going to do is we're going to strike the E string, so that F note that we're playing with our first finger. We're going to do that nice hammer on the third fret of the high E string with our pinky finger. Let's do that nice and slowly here. Just like that. Now notice, can't see my thumb up here. I'm placing my thumb in the middle of the neck. Okay, it's on the back. Can't see it from this angle. Okay, I'm using that squeeze to really help create a good foundation for this hammer on and pull off sequence that we're doing with this riff. So let's go ahead and do that hammer on again. Okay, just like that. One more time. And notice how I'm only striking the string one time. Okay, when we do that hammer on, it should be a nice strong G note there. Now what we're gonna do here, so we're gonna do the exact opposite. We're gonna go ahead and pull off. Okay? So see how I pulled off from that G note, 3rd fret of the E string, and then went back to that F note. Okay? So we're gonna go ahead, strum the D minor, and let's go ahead and do that again. And last time. Now, to complete the phrase, lift that 1st finger up to play the open E string. That will sound like this. Let's play this nice and slowly together, shall we? And that's the riff. Okay? Nice and slowly. Let's do that a couple times here. Notice how I am only striking that E string one time. That's it. All the hammer-ons and pull-offs, we want it to have enough gas to get through the whole riff. Okay, let's go ahead and do that a couple more times here. A little faster now. And I'm moving my hand really out of the way so that you can see that I'm only striking that E string once. So just like that, that's it. Pretty neat stuff. So that's what's happening with the D minor at the top of the intro. Okay, and we're gonna see this again pretty much almost every time we play the D minor chord in this song. We're gonna include that riff in there too. Okay, so keep that in mind for later. So that's the first chord there, D minor with the riff. Next chord is gonna be a B flat. Now, we're gonna play it this way. This is the way that I like to play this chord in this position, and when I was watching Tracy Chapman play this in her music video, as well as some live versions, she was playing it this way too, okay? So at least from what I can tell, okay? So we're gonna use 2 fingers here. We're gonna use our 1st finger and our 3rd finger. There's the camera. 1st finger, 3rd finger. There we go. Okay, 1st finger across all 5 strings, A string through the high E string across. Now, we don't want our finger like this, okay? We want to mimic that fret the best we can, okay? So keep that finger nice and straight, just like that. And notice how you can't see my thumb. Again, used as pressure and as a good foundation for the rest of this chord. Now, when it comes to this next part, okay, I know this may be difficult for some of you, but trust me, this is a great way to play this chord. We're gonna get our 3rd finger. We're gonna play 3 strings at once, okay? Hang with me on this, you can do this. 3rd finger, okay? And if you can see this here. So this part of my, there we go. Right before the joint, okay, is where we want to place those 3 strings, 1, 2, 3. Right before that 1st joint that bends on that 3rd finger. So we want our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the D string, 3rd fret of the G string, and 3rd fret of the B string. So if we're talking about notes here, I'll go through them on the strings. We got B flat, okay? Then on the 3rd fret of the D string is an F, 3rd fret of the G string is another B flat, and then 3rd fret of the B string is a D, D as in dog. And that's gonna be the chord. And if you can get that F with your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the E string, gold star for you, my friends, okay? But sometimes, when we're first doing this chord, sometimes we can only get to the B string, and that's okay. But I encourage you, work up to getting that extra F there, all right, at the top. So, nice and easy strum there from the D minor with the B flat, sounds like this. Just a nice down, down, up, down, up. Okay, pretty simple. So that's our B flat. Okay, and then with the thumb engaged as we are playing with the D minor there. For some of you, that might really help you get that riff to the B flat. Keeping that thumb in the back, next chord is going to be F major. So let me talk you through how to get there from the B flat. So we've got our B flat here. Our first finger is already across most of the strings. However, we're going to do here. So when we play F, we're just going to move that first finger up to now cover all 6 strings. Why? The F root is here on the first fret of the E string. We need that note, okay? So what we're going to do, we lift these other fingers out of the way, our second, third, and fourth finger. We're going to put them down in just a moment, okay? Get our first finger placed first. From there, get your second finger, placing that on the second fret of the G string, that's our A. Third finger, third fret of the A string is our C, and then our fourth finger, third fret of the D string, which is F. So F, A, C builds the F major chord. Notice how you cannot see my thumb. Why? The second I move it up, see how the hand begins to shrink. Okay, we can't get a strong, it doesn't sound that good, right? So we want to keep that thumb in the back, creating a good foundation. The thumb is pressing through, okay, and the fingers are pressing into that fretboard. Okay, I know a lot of us don't like this bar chord, but trust me, once you get it down, it's a beautiful way to play this chord. Okay, so that's what's happening there with F. So in context, go ahead and add it to the D minor and B flat, okay? That preceded it, so here we go. B flat, F. Again. And let's do that again. D minor, B flat to F. Okay, from there, final chord is we're going to play a C, and we're going to play the bar chord Y right here. So first finger across the third fret of the A, D, G, B, and high E string. Okay, and again, no crooked fingers, want it nice and straight. Okay, try to mimic that fret. And then we got our third finger here across the 5th fret of the D string, G string, and the B string. So we've got C here, okay? We've got G here, we have another C here, and then we have an E here. So C, E, G, 1, 3, 5, C major. There it is. Okay, and same strumming pattern here, okay? Keeping it nice and simple. So here's the intro, okay? Let's take our time. I'll call out the chords and then we'll do a pass without the commentary. So here we go. And again, if you're enjoying the lesson, click the like button and be sure to subscribe, okay? So here we go from the top, intro. B flat, F, C, D minor, B flat, F, C. No commentary, here we go a little faster. One more pass. Just like that, okay? So as we get into the verse, we're gonna have the same exact chords, just gonna play them in a different order, okay? So the verse order of these chords is gonna be F to C, D minor with the riff into B flat. So I will play that verse nice and slowly here. This verse is gonna be repeated, so 4 times, that F, C, D minor, B flat, 4 times in a verse, okay? So here we go, from the top of the verse, F, C, D minor with the riff into B flat. Okay, so here we go. One more time. And one more time, why not? Let's keep it an even 4. So just like that, okay? Now some of you might be, oof, that C might be a little hard here as a bar chord, all right? Now, I'm playing this how I saw Tracy do it. However, if you wanted to play the C as an open chord, because I can understand how we have F, and then we have a C open chord here to D minor, that might make things a little bit easier or a little bit more compacted within those first like 3 frets of the guitar. So for those of you who maybe want a little bit of an easier go, okay, if you're not quite up to this C here as a bar chord yet, it would look like this. So I'll call out the chords F, C, D minor to B flat. I'll do that again. If you wanted an easier go, okay? If you wanted it a little more authentic to how Tracy does it, you would play the C like this, okay? So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go through the intro twice, and let's go through the verse part 4 times. And then after that, we'll get into a chorus and a bridge, and we are done for this song. How great is this, right? So again, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe. All right, so here we go. Intro twice, verse 4 times. And I will I'll call out the chords for the first pass, and the second pass we'll do without the commentary. So here we go. Intro, D minor, B flat, F, C, no commentary, here we go. Into our verse, F, C, D minor with the riff, B flat, F, C, D minor with the riff, B flat, now no commentary, still a verse. So there it is, all right? So that's our verse, okay? There's a lot of them in this song, and those are the chords that are in it, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead and get on to the chorus. I'm gonna play through this just a little bit slower than I did at the top, all right? The chorus sounds like this. Again, let's see, we have 1 new chord here, which is cool, but it's a fun chord to play, okay? So here we go. So here's the chorus, just a little bit slower. So we've got here, the first chord that's gonna open up this chorus is gonna be a G minor. So here's how we're gonna do it, okay? First finger, third finger, fourth finger, okay? So think of it as a power chord, but we're just gonna add that minor triad underneath it, all right? So we've got our first finger across all 6 strings at the 3rd fret, okay? So no crooked fingers, nice and straight. From there, 3rd finger placing that on the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D note, D as in dog, okay? 4th finger rather, we're gonna place that on the 5th fret of the D string, which is another G. So right here we have G, D, and G. But we wanna hear the rest of those beautiful notes too, because we really want that B flat, okay? That is the flat through it, so it makes this G minor, minor chord. And that B flat, okay? It's gonna be right there, 3rd fret of the G string. So try your best to get all of those strings, okay? So your first finger is gonna be across the 3rd fret of the G string, B string, and the high E string. Now, you notice that I'm doing it here, and you can do this too if it helps you. Sometimes I will place my 2nd finger on top of my first to create just a little bit more pressure. to get a cleaner sounding chord. Okay, sometimes I don't need to, but sometimes if you need a little bit more help, that can be helpful. Okay, so what we're going to do here is going to be 2 bars of 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from there we go to F, just going to be 1 bar of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's our F bar chord, it came back. Okay, and then from there we're going to go to C, and we're going to play it this way. Okay, and again, 1 bar of 4. So that will sound like this. This is going to be repeated 3 times. So G minor, F to C. See, F and C we already know how to play. All right, so here we go. G minor to F, C, G minor to F to C. One more time, G minor. Time without the commentary. Okay, now if that C is still a little difficult, could you go ahead and play the open C? Absolutely. Okay, so that's what's happening there. It's going to happen 3 times. Now towards the end of the chorus, okay, we have this. So we're going to have again 2 bars of that G minor. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, to C, 2 bars of C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do B flat. I will let you choose which one you want to play. When I saw Tracy playing this live, I noticed she did this. She played B flat here. I thought it was really interesting, because then it led to the next chord quite beautifully. So check this out. So we've got B flat here, first finger across the 6th fret of all 6 strings, okay? From there, get your 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the G string, okay? 3rd finger, 8th fret of the A string, and we have our 4th finger here on the 8th fret of the D string. Now, if we're talking about notes, we've got B flat, we have F, another B flat, okay, and D. And then we have here F and B flat. Okay, so that's our B flat there. Again, 2 bars of this chord as well. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next chord is G major. You're gonna get this shape, okay? And all we're gonna do is move it back 1, 2, 3 frets, okay? There's our root, G major, 3rd fret of the E string, G, B, and D, the 1, 3, 5. Those are the notes that build this chord. We have them all here. And we're gonna do 2 bars of that G as well before we get into the intro that we repeat 2 times. So here's that back end of that chorus. Here we go, G minor to C, to B flat, to G major, to our intro. One more time, intro. That's what's happening there. Really beautiful song. Really, really beautiful. So that's what's happening there. So after that chorus, we go into the intro twice, okay? We have another verse, we have another chorus, and then we have another intro break. From there, we go into a bridge. Really beautiful, and we have one more chord that is an open chord. The rest are gonna be bar chords, okay? So the bridge is gonna sound like this. A lot of chords we're familiar with, and a couple new ones, okay? So that first new one is gonna be an A7. To my ear, that's what that sounds like. Okay? So we would play it like this. I like to use my second and third finger to play this chord. So my second finger will go on the second fret of the D string, that's an E note, and then my third finger will go on the second fret of the B string, which is a C sharp. So you're gonna strum this from the A string downward. And if we're thinking about, wait a second, what are all the notes in this A7 chord? There are 4 of them. It's gonna be an A, a C sharp, an E, and a G. So 1, 3, 5, and a flat 7. And again, we're gonna do 2 bars of this chord too. Now, I noticed on the music video, she didn't play D minor here. She played it as a bar chord here. Getting lots of chordal syntax on this lesson today. This is great. So how we would do this D minor, okay, we're learning it 2 different ways. Could you choose to play it here if you wanted, of course, but we're trying to keep as close as we can. So first finger across the 5th fret of the A string through the high E string, okay? Second finger, go ahead and place that on the 6th fret of the B string. That's going to be an F. We're going to get our third finger here, placing that on the 7th fret of the D string. That is an A, and then our 4th finger on the 7th fret of the G string, which is another D note, okay? So that is going to be D, F, and A, 1 flat 3, 5. And from there, we go to our C chord, okay? 1 bar of each of those, D minor and C. So how that will sound is like this: 2 bars of A7, 1 minor, 1 of D minor, and then 1 of C. Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that will repeat. Except after that, we're going to do 1 bar of B flat, and then 1 bar of C. And then from there, we go into a verse. So here is the entire bridge. A7, D minor, C, repeat that, A7, D minor, C, B flat, C. Okay, so just like that. And those are all the parts of the tune, which is wonderful. So we're gonna do here, for the last couple minutes of this lesson, I'll go through all the parts, I'll abridge them slightly so we can get them all in. And that's the lesson, you guys. So again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. You want to check out all the cool Fishman gear, be sure to do that too. So here we go. Intro, we're going to do twice. One more time. Intro. To our verse, let's go ahead and do that twice. F, C, D minor with a riff, B flat. No commentary. Now we're switching chorus, G minor, F, C. One more time for that section, G minor, F, C, final part of the chorus, G minor, G, so the intro, let's do a quick bridge. And there you have it, folks. There is Change by Tracy Chapman. Such a beautiful song. As always, wishing you all much success in your musical journeys. Have fun with this one. Have fun with these bar chords. And folks,